AI agents are everywhere, automating tasks and making decisions at machine speed. But agents make mistakes. Just one rogue agent can do big damage before you even notice. Rubrik Agent Cloud is the only platform that helps you monitor agents, set guardrails, and rewind mistakes, so you can unleash agents, not risk. Accelerate your AI transformation at Rubrik.com. That's RUBRIK.com.
Okay, only 10 more presents to wrap. You're almost at the finish line. But first... There, the last one. Enjoy a Coca-Cola for a pause that refreshes.
You're listening to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network.
Here we go now. Here we go now. Mm-mm. Here we go now. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I love it when the replay crew is like, that intro is too long. Replay crew, you do realize you have the option of fast forwarding, unlike our live members. Shout out to our live crew. They're forced to wait through it and dance through it. So just dance through it and stop being so damn bah humbug. All right, enough of that. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video, be sure to share the video, do all the things. I'm just making sure I'm turning everything off so that we are not interrupted during our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap. Our live today is brought to you by our friends over at Butter. My skincare is brought. You guys are always asking about my skincare. Butter. You also have a discount code, Kempire10 at butterskin.com. Kempire10 for 10% off. Go head on over to Butterskin today. It's a great Christmas gift. I don't know what you're waiting on in regards to your Christmas gifts. And Christmas is right around the corner. Sidebar, speaking of replying to the comments, someone else said, shout out to those of you that said you love my Christmas decor. Appreciate that. But then someone responded to them, I don't know if I could deal with it for the next 2 months. Bah humbug to you too. Avit, is how you pronounce your name? Yes, we are live. Hello. Hello. Simply Ross says, I love the intro. I know our community, the people that are here during the live love the intro. But replay crew, if you don't, you know what you can do. Fast forward. Fast forward. It's okay. That's all right. All right. Angelique says, are you live on Twitch? Yes, I should be. Twitch members. Yeah, we got our Twitch people in the building. Bergie's watching on Twitch. Hey, Bergie. Bergie was on our TikTok live last night. Yeah, I was live on TikTok. For those like, oh my God, I missed the live. Yeah, we were live on TikTok. I go live there exclusively. We're not live there right now, but we're live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook, The Kempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. We're also live on X. Hey, X fam. We see you guys as well. Keep sharing the live. Be sure to subscribe. It is subscribers only. A live chat. I did want to answer a question because we did talk about butter skin. Queen, are you in the building? Queen D. Shamama says, before we start, Kempire, my hubby is bald and I wanted your recommendation for a daily head wash for him to use. Do you do butter, regular soap, or something else? I don't have a specific wash for it. A lot of people are asking about the bald head skincare. That might be a thing. Anyway, for those that came to our New York City show, I use Butter's cleanser on my head as well. I use it. There are two different cleansers: their regular cleanser, skin cleanser, and then their scrub. I forgot what it's called. We talked about it when we went live with them on their website. So I've been using that like twice a week. Like an exfoliant. So head on over to butterskin.com, Kempire10 for 10% off. Shameless plug, but this is really my skincare. I've been using them for months now. And you guys have seen them improve. Like, we already had good skin, but now the improvement has been showing. So I use my regular facial wash, not like soap on my head. I don't use soap on my head. But yeah, I use face wash. So I think it's good. It's good for the skin, right? The skin is skinning. Just saying. All right, Queen. Thank you for being a member as well. We appreciate that. Again, guys, if you haven't already, thank you for 70 likes already. Appreciate that. Okay. Y'all didn't even hear what I got to say. This could be a lame live. No, it won't be. It won't be. I just watched, last night I watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Then I watched it again this morning. And then right before the live, because I had a little bit of time, I really didn't, because you guys are like, Kempire, where are you? You're late. Normally we would go live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, but I said, let me go a little bit earlier because I have things to get done today. But yesterday I got my nails did and my toes did. Look, mani-pedi time. Look, can y'all, let me focus. There we go. I got my nails did. Shout out to Nico. She did the damn thing. Yes. You guys are like, are we going to get to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Yes. How would you guys rate this week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? I think we're still having a very good season. It's not necessarily my favorite, but I'm still enjoying it. It's not like every week when we watch Real Housewives of Orange County. I still feel like they're bringing. Sidebar, for those that attended BravoCon and you attended the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City panel, I heard they weren't even talking about the new season because this new season's underway, which I understand, but it's like what are we talking about? And speaking of the panel, I have to give it to Bronwyn. I don't always love Bronwyn, but I'm not, you know how we were like, oh my gosh, get rid of Kiarna, get rid of Angel. I'm not saying get rid of Angel. I'm saying with Angel, I want to see Angel without Kiarna. But if we can't get that, then I don't want either one of them. Kalab says, take your time, Kim. Ain't that what they say in church? Which one? Mary's church? Oh, why was I tearing up? I told you Mary has something about her, which is probably why she is sort of like the messenger of that church and why people look up to her. There's something about her. It affects the entire cast. You saw their reaction. Even Lisa Barlow. Lisa Barlow was not just sweating, but she was crying. Right? Mr. Melon and Magic says, I'm saying goodbye to Angel. I just want to see her. If we're going to give her another shot, I would like to see her without Kiarna. If that's impossible, then they both can go. Okay. Steph, I heard that too from Christian, right? Or was it someone else, Steph? Because Steph says, I heard from another content creators that Bronwyn was rude to them at BravoCon. Christian Gray said that Bronwyn came up to him and was just like, are you going to be nice to me today? I hate when housewives say that. Because, look, I don't know Christian chapter and verse, but I've never known him to be nasty. Okay? You might not like his opinions, but y'all don't always like my opinions. But I've never known him to be nasty. And there are some content creators, and we're not going to name them. Name them. What? Who said that? Name them. What? Who said that? There are some content creators that are nasty and call these ladies outside their name. We're not one of them. I don't know Christian's all of his content, but I would be surprised to see him calling someone out their name. Are you going to be nice to me? I hate when housewives say stuff like that. I hate that. So apparently that's what she was doing. And the thing is, I was going to give you some compliments, Bronwyn, because I felt like, if anything, you showed up for work during that panel. I felt like the panel was really, you really delivered. But I feel like she delivers in general when it comes to her role on this show. I don't always love her, but I feel like when it comes time for commentary, her confessionals, very much like Heather, she's really good at her confessionals. Winter says, I love seeing Mary in her element. Cindy was like, name them. Mm-mm. Winter says, Angel's getting one more chance, one more only. Which, yeah, I agree with that. Shar says, I was raised in a Pentecostal church. I left it as an adult. We're going to talk about church. We're going to definitely talk about church today in today's Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, because that is a major theme. One of the things that we haven't talked about was the fact that Mary Cosby's son, Robert Jr., is back in jail. I've been so busy covering BravoCon, covering the update when it comes to Wendy Acefo. If you missed that yesterday, be sure to check out that video. Exactly, which is Christian Gray's one of the nicest. So, like I said, I don't know everything because I don't watch all the content, so you just never know. But I've never seen him to be gross and nasty and calling people out their names. So you know what I mean? If anything, I'm probably more harsh than he is. But that's me. That's me. Okay. What else was I saying? Oh, in regards to Mary Cosby's son, Robert Jr. So apparently he's back in jail for violating a restraining order from his wife. in regards to her family. I guess there's a restraining order against him and he violated it. So he's in jail. I don't know if he's made it out yet because the last I heard during BravoCon, he was still in jail. And look, he's dealing with addiction issues. We talk about it in this week's episode of Salt Lake City as well. I think some of what he's going through is along with the addiction issues. He's a really young kid. And I think we need, as a society, especially as a community, to give grace to people going through addiction. Because I feel like a lot of his behavior is wrapped up in his addiction. And I wish him the best. I definitely wish him the best. One of the things that we said last season was the fact that I was surprised. And again, we don't know off camera how Mary is, but on camera, what she was giving us was definitely what he needed. Someone with understanding, especially someone coming from the church. We know how sometimes the church, we're just going to pray this away. She didn't just pray it away with him. Yes, that's an important part. She also said, you need to go to rehab. He might need to go to rehab again. And I do feel like sometimes when you grow up in church and the pressures of church can make you go into this world of addiction and things like that, especially when your mother is not just sort of the leader of the church. It feels like they treat her almost like a prophet. I'm not familiar with how they view her, but it feels that they view Mary sort of like a prophet of the church. Yes, Peter, we talked about the documentary that's coming on TLC in regards to Mary's church. Based off the trailer, it didn't seem like anything new was coming out. However, it's a trailer. We're going to watch it to give it a shot. But I don't know if there's anything new that will come out because we did cover a lot of the accusations that were against Mary and the church and the money and things like that. Winter says, listen, we from New York City, our tone is different, like what they said about Cy from Roni. Oh, God, Cy's getting it this week that's another part of the fallout from BravoCon. Cy and Madison LaCroix. Where's she from? Southern Charm? I don't remember where she's from. So the fallout from that, I don't even know. I have to say, the three women that they're keeping when it comes to Real Housewives of New York, I don't know if they're definitely the most likable. And I wonder, well, Uba is not coming back. Chanel Ayan confirmed that on the red carpet accidentally, that she's not coming back, which I think it's fine. You know, I feel like it's fine. What's her name? The one with the B. It's not Bronwyn. What's her name? Damn, I forgot her name already, which is fine. Wow, don't tell me. Don't tell me her name. Let's pretend that she's never existed. Let's pretend that I can't remember her name. And that's not age. I think it's just the Lord blocking her from me. Anyway. All right, guys, keep liking the video if you haven't already. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And honestly, we're just talking about everything that played. Oh, damn. Angel, I'm gonna block you. I'm playing, yeah, Bryn. Not Brokey. Oh, God. Come on. Yeah, y'all gonna tell me the name. And Nelson says, not you forgot Bryn. I really did. And honestly, I'm okay with it. So Bryn's not coming back. Uba's not coming back. Jenna Lyons is not coming back. But I felt like Jenna should have did one season and left anyway. Just saying. All right. So moving on, let's get into Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. As I said to you before, the story that's been coming out and we haven't been able to talk about was the fact that Robert Jr. was back in jail, but it wasn't in jail for drugs. It was in jail for violating a restraining order, from what I recall. And the last I saw the other day, they said that he was still in jail. Let me see if I still have it on my phone. Yeah, they were saying that he was still in jail. I might be on my other phone. Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, shout out to Sutton Stroller on X. They said Cosby Jr. is still in custody per the Salt Lake City inmate directory. He hasn't been offered bail. Today marks day number 9. Maybe this will be helpful to him because, again, we find out in this week's episode that he didn't go to the church reopening because he was high when he got into the car. And Mary's like, no, you can't go. Which I understand. And I wonder if he got high because he felt the pressure of he's going to go to church. He's going to be around all these people. Everyone, there's a lot of attention that comes to Mary Cosby. I'm trying to give grace as to why he might have been high. He might have just wanted to get high. I don't know. But I'm wondering if leading up to this moment, he felt the pressure and that's why he ended up getting high. Sidebar, did you guys watch speaking of getting high, it reminded me of Ozzy from the Hulu show Reasonable Doubt. Did you guys watch season 3? It was so good. They got renewed for season 4. If you're a part of Club Kempire, maybe I'll talk more about it there. It was a great season. And the actor that plays Ozzy, he did a fantastic job. Mr. Melmagic says that Kemp, she's going to unblock you to block you again for reporting on this. Sorry, Mary. I think Mary would understand now, though. I think she's less sensitive now. But she still has me blocked on X. But she doesn't have me blocked on Instagram. Shh, don't tell her. She might not realize it. I don't care if you block me. It doesn't affect me. That's the thing. I can still enjoy you. I'm not a stan for these housewives. I can still enjoy you on the show. If you hate me, you could throw me under the bus. Like you oh, he's the worst person in the world. I'm still gonna talk about you. Look, Tamar told me to rot in hell. I'm still gonna report on you if you come into the news. Just saying. But anyway, I don't want to ruin Reasonable Doubt for you, but yeah, go check out Reasonable Doubt. I thought it was a really, really good season. They're not paying me, but Hulu, come on now. We could do a partnership for season 4. Let's do it. All right. Nicole says, I just binge watch Reasonable Doubt. So good. I can only imagine a binge watch from season 1 to season 3. Oh, that's good. That's definitely good. And I'm glad. Never mind. I'm not going to ruin it for people that haven't watched it. You can watch it on Hulu. Just saying. All right. Amina says, Mary blocked you? OMG, these housewives. I mean, there could be a variety of reasons why Mary blocked me. Let's revisit. It could be because I reported on the cult conversation, or it could have been of who I was collaborating with at the time. So it could have been that more so than her blocking me for just me reporting on it. Because I never really said anything terrible about me. I mean, we make jokes and stuff like that, but we still make the jokes. We haven't stopped. What? Oh, okay. Anyway, so let's get to this episode because I do have a lot to say. 'Tis the season, guys. If you didn't notice that we are celebrating, for those that are watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, all the places, that we are celebrating the holidays here on the channel. It's not early. Next week is Thanksgiving. Okay? Next week is Thanksgiving. So we are just in time. I'm still sort of like decorating, moving things around, figuring out where I want to put stuff. So I just did a little decorating today. I love it. When I come into my apartment, I'm like, yes. I'm like, tis the season to be jolly. All right, let me focus. Okay. So at the top of this episode, I have to say, this is what makes Salt Lake City so special and so different and so funny. Who thought to do a high body count celebration for Britney? Because we still haven't gotten to the bottom of what went down on that flight. Okay? And Whitney decides to plan a high body count celebration. I love that Angie said, you know what we should do? We should do high body count hair. They had food for her. They celebrate her. And and I don't know, is Britney a middle child? I'm trying to understand why she is the way she is. She's always like, what about me? What about me? Oh my God, Britney is so thirsty. And for those that think that her and Jared are over, he was at BravoCon. He was at BravoCon. I don't want to see Britney. Please break up with him before the next season, because if you do not break up with him, I'm going to be over you too. I like Britney on this show. And I get it. I get why people do not like her, but that's a good thing. When we're putting our producer hat on, it's not about loving someone on a show. It's about, do they invoke a feeling from you? Because everyone needs a villain, okay? Or a kooky mess like Britney. Britney fits perfectly with this group of women. Perfectly, because she's kooky, she's crazy, and I mean crazy in the best way. So because of what Britney went through with Meredith, allegedly, I guess I have to say, because Meredith is denying all allegations. So Whitney plans this celebration of her, and they surprise her. Mary, of course, did not do her hair like everyone else. But look, we know Mary's not going to do it, all right? Especially not for Britney. So the ladies surprised Britney with their high body count hair, all right? what was it? Bronwyn brought the teddy bear maker guy there to do teddy bears, and they could put little messages. I thought this was really, really cute. Okay. So they all put a message except Mary. But Mary found it so funny to herself. She's like, no, let her play it. She's like, what did you say? Nothing was said. Everyone had beautiful message. Brittany, you're a star. Angie was like, oh, she's going to say something in Greek. She's like, I love you. Okay. Everyone had nice messages. So Mary wasn't going to say anything. Mary was just like, here you go. Yes. No. Yeah. She's like, did you say something? She's like, nope. And the production asked Mary, like, are you good with Brittany? She's like, no. Oh, are you warming up to Brittany? She's like, no. And then they flash back to something that went down on the yacht. And this is what happens. A lot of times we don't understand why certain housewives say certain things in their confessionals, or why they have a certain energy. It's because a lot of times production, or because of timing, they don't have time to include every single fight. And so they flash back to why Mary doesn't see it for Brittany, because Brittany is like, you're not very Christ-like. So we had this moment where Mary's just like, yeah, I still don't see it for her. And Bronwyn sees the light at the end of the tunnel. She was like, well, at least it isn't something negative. And Mary's just like, Mary's facial expressions too. Mary, her Mary-isms are funny, but also her facial expressions. If you're not paying attention, you might miss out on that. Exactly. Bravo. Vivian Cafe says Mary's no message was the message. Damn. She could have said something, but it was funnier that she said nothing. Okay. So when Brittany notices that, she's like, love you, Mary. And Mary's just like, oh, okay. So Bronwyn says that she did speak with Meredith, and Meredith is still denying anything. She's like, I never said anything to Brittany. Meredith is taking the route of how any lawyer would take the route, or how she's done it for forever. She's playing semantics here. So Bronwyn says that, Meredith says that, I don't know what they were talking about. I was talking with my friend, and I can't help the fact that she heard what I had to say. That's exactly what Meredith is doing. I don't know the length of how long this rant went on, or what went on, but when I rewatched last week's episode, I believe Mary, yes, all the other women are saying the same thing as Mary, but Mary for me was what solidified it. Not to say that Mary can't be a liar, but Mary's concern for Meredith is what sold me. And because I do believe the other women would do anything to produce a moment, but I do find it interesting that the crew did nothing. Production that was in first class with them did nothing. The other housewives allegedly try to do something. But then you see what happened with Portia this week, and we're like, why did something happen with Portia but nothing with Meredith? Well, white. Sounds about white, right? So it could be that. It could be that, or just a different crew. I just do feel like this could potentially be an issue for the crew, because if you're reporting an incident on national television and there was no incident report, you know what I mean? I feel like this, I know if this was me, because I used to be involved in HR. I used to be involved in very much HR when I first got out of college, and I worked for a nonprofit. And I used to be the co-chair of their incident report committee. So I've always had like a very HR background. And we review incidences of abuse and things like that. So any sort of claim like this, there would be an investigation, even if it's afterwards. So I feel bad for the crew if they did not report what happened on this flight. Look, I can't help it. I know some of you, but it's housewives. But this happened on an airplane. Federal. This is federal. So I get why Meredith is like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was having a conversation with my friend. I can't help that she may have overheard it. I did not kick her seat. I was trying to get to the bathroom. And I'm like, I get why she is taking this route. But how many women are saying it? Angie, Heather, Bronwyn wasn't there, Mary, Whitney, Brittany. That's 5 people. And Brittany's saying that the crew checked up on her, but they did nothing? They didn't report this? Exactly. Dear Yvette says that Bronwyn made a good point. She would have taken pics of the whole thing, which is shocking to me that there isn't any footage. Some people speculate that they feel like footage might come out during the reunion. No, it better not. Because again, I think this is going to be a legal liability for the network and for the airline. And that crew. I could see the crew getting suspended or fired for this. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask my sister. I'm going to have to explain all of this to her, though, because she's going to be like, what? What happened? I'm going to have to explain it all the time. Like, so what should have happened? And if this is now coming out on television, what will happen next going forward? Because they're talking about this on national television. They can't sign NDA, Nicole. Nicole says flight attendants probably signed an NDA. I bet Bravo has the footage. They probably didn't sign an NDA. We have to remember this is federal law up in the air. They're not signing any NDA for Bravo. It don't work like that. We in the air. This is federal now. Tina says, I thought it was hilarious that they asked Meredith how she hurt her foot and was it kicking Britney's seat. But she talked about hurting her foot episodes ago. So there's like, was it from kicking Britney's seat? I did find that funny. Exactly. Angel says, flight attendants get fired for less posting uniforms on IG. So depending on your airline, because some people can, but depending on what you do in your uniform on social media, I don't know. Chris says, I believe Mary only. And Mary said at BravoCon at some interview that Meredith was doing a lot, but it wasn't crazy as bad weather are making it out to be. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. They are putting sauce on it. Oh, I didn't see that. So that's interesting. But the way that Mary described it sounded bad enough to the point where Mary felt bad for Brittany. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised that Delta's investigating this because Delta's the airline that they took. So, right? DB says anything too loud and aggressive, then the police would have been called. Meredith claims that no one stopped her when she got off that flight. Okay. And Heather said on Watch What Happens Live, she thinks the level of celebrity is the reason why it wasn't reported. I told you now. So some of what I said could be true then, that they're putting more sauce on it. Yes, something did happen, but they're putting more sauce on it. My thing is, I feel like it's irresponsible of the cast if they're putting more sauce on it, specifically everyone besides Mary Cosby. They're putting more sauce on it because that could put Meredith in legal jeopardy. And also putting these people's jobs. Because the way that they're describing, I'm telling you, I'm like, flight attendants should have done something. I hope the flight attendants did some sort of incident report just to cover themselves. Because I would hate for them to lose their job over these women. Okay. Nicole says, I work in the entertainment travel industry. We signed an NDA on behalf of the clients. Well, we're talking about Delta. We're not talking about like a private airline or something like that. So keep that in mind. So I don't see them signing any sort of NDA. Chris says that, but bad weather is doing too much. Yeah. All right, let's move on. So they have a good time at this celebration. Bronwyn talks about what Meredith said. Bronwyn also reveals to the group that she wasn't wearing her ring. But then she said on during BravoCon that, sometimes I don't wear my ring. So what is it? During the season, you're like, yeah, I'm not wearing my ring because, of what went down with Todd and Todd texting on the plane. Here's the thing. I almost forgot about the accusations that she had against Todd from years ago in their relationship. So now I'm sort of like, was this a scheme that Todd set up for Todd to do the same thing on a flight again in public? I feel like, is this a plot and a scheme? Because why would he do that again in public? You know what I mean? Especially when we've talked about it on a show. And now you're on a show and you're in public doing the same thing. That to me is kind of make me look at the whole situation. Is this a scheme? Yeah, I got to stop playing with your marriages. Shanika says she's creating a storyline. Chris says it's giving weird. Mm-hmm. So she said she's not wearing her ring. She did have some issues with Todd because of the story on social media about him on a plane. And she said it was so descriptive. That's why she believes it. She kicked him out. He had to go to New York. They ended up having a conversation later. We'll get to it. So then then she talks about possibly having an open arrangement. Here's the thing. And I told you, I feel like she came on this show because she's scheming her exit plan. But please understand, Bronwyn, your exit plan, unless you come up with $1 million business that you're going to leverage off of the show, the lifestyle that you are currently living with Todd, you're not going to be able to live based off of your salary on this show. But then I thought to myself, her talking about this open arrangement makes me believe that she's like, I'm not getting rid of Todd. I still live a very fabulous life. To me, it's giving Lisa Hochstein until he's ready to replace you with the new fancy model, Bronwyn. I think in her head, she's like, I'll be open to an open arrangement. You do what you want to do. And I'll be able to say, like, our marriage is open. I don't care. I'm still able to live my fancy lifestyle until he finds the woman that he wants to replace you with, and then he kicks you out. And of course, it will secure your spot for another season, but you still won't be able to live the lifestyle that you want to live. The Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. Today's live show is brought to you by our friends over at Factor. You know I love a Factor meal. Factor's got us covered on a busy day, like our Mondays, especially when I have 2 lives coming up. So Factor has you covered even when you have a busy schedule. Fall always feels like a reset between back to school, busier routines, and shorter days. Finding time to cook can be tough. That's why I personally love our friends over at Factor. Their chef prep, dietitian approved meals makes it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious no matter how hectic the season gets. You get more variety and more meals. And of course, you get options like seafood choices from salmon to shrimp at no extra cost. They have more choices for better nutrition. That's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Kempire50 off and use code Kempire50 off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code Kempire50 off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. More details on Factor will be available in the description. All right, as I said to you before, so that's what it's giving, that she's bringing up this whole open arrangement last week. This week, she's bringing it up. She even brings it up to Todd. Todd works in big corporate America. Even though some of his colleagues probably have open relationships, he doesn't want that to be known on reality television or to the world. Because Todd has a family too. He doesn't want his family, he's probably so embarrassed by her bringing this up anyway. Bergie says, do they have a prenup? I'm pretty sure they have a prenup. I'm pretty sure they have some sort of prenup. And I wonder what those details are. Steph, I did hear about what happened with Julia and Lisa from Real Housewives of Miami at the airport. I did a short form video. You can watch it here on YouTube. You can also watch it on TikTok. So for those that want to... Oh, Asta says they don't have a prenup? Well, that's dumb. But we shall see. We shall see. Bravo Vivian says, I don't believe that the open arrangement mess, she's saying. They didn't already have that arrangement, so just going into that would be a disaster, in my opinion. I don't know if I believe it either, but I do feel like she's trying to secure her spot. Secure her spot on the show and secure her spot in that relationship. Steph says, didn't she say last season that there's no prenup? I can't remember all the details. I believe you guys. Chris says Todd did a background check and skipped the prenup after. But is there a postnup? We'll see. All right. Moving on. So Mary and Robert Jr. go to her church because, her church was being renovated for the last 2 years. They go in. She wants to inspect it. And then she sits down and she has a conversation with Robert Jr. Apparently, the church has not been renovated. It's been in her family for 60 years, but it has not been renovated ever since. But they recently renovated it. It looks good. I mean, but it doesn't look like they added air conditioning to it because everyone was hot in there. Mary asked Robert, where is his spirituality right now? So Robert talks about his experience in rehab and them asking him about a higher power. And he says, he knows who his higher power is. It felt like in that moment, Robert was giving Mary the answers that she wanted to hear. It didn't feel authentic, but that could be me. So she says that opening the church doors will help Robert. And remember, I said that a couple of weeks ago. I said this would be a good opportunity for him to kind of keep busy. He can go work at the church. He can be the maintenance for the church. I think that's what he should be doing, just to kind of keep him out of trouble. And a lot of times, these folks in like middle America get into drugs and stuff like this because they're bored. They have nothing to do. There's no extracurricular activities. These extracurricular activities are being canceled. I saw, what was it in Baltimore where they saw a big change in regards to crime and drug use and things like that because of the increase in activities that they were making available to the community. So Mary talks to him about where he's at and things like that. And he was talking about how some of his friends that I guess in rehab ended up relapsing. And she says, have you offered them prayer? And he's like, he doesn't want to do that to them. He doesn't want to feel like he's pressuring them into it. But she's like, there's nothing wrong with offering prayer. So they have this conversation about that. So the conversation, like I said to you before, I feel like Robert was just telling Mary what she wanted to hear in that moment. It didn't feel authentic from his side of things. But you could also tell Mary is very concerned. And I understand why she's concerned, because she probably sees that she doesn't like hearing that other people that went to rehab relapse. But I don't remember the statistics off the top of my head. But a lot of people that go to rehab end up relapsing. So this was a nice moment between Mary and Robert Jr. Then we get to this conversation between John and Lisa Barlow. So they go for coffee. That cake that Lisa was having looked yummy. It was like some sort of lemon cake. It looked yummy. Mm-hmm. So Lisa's concerned about Henry and Jack and what their dynamic will be because now he's coming back. And Lisa says that John irritated her the other day in the car because of the way he spoke to her when it comes to how she was talking to Henry. And John felt like Lisa was telling Henry how to think. And she's like, well, I feel like you're telling me how to think. Lisa says she doesn't want to be corrected on how to parent Henry. So Lisa says that she is around a lot of girls that are committed to not hearing or understanding her. I felt like she was having like a tantrum in her conversation with John. John doesn't say a lot, and he was really trying in this moment to be able to speak his truth. And she doesn't listen. She doesn't listen to a lot of people. This is something with Lisa that she does all the time, not just with John, but with like her friends, even with her kids. She doesn't really listen. Sidebar. During BravoCon, there was, I think it was like a Watch What Happens live taping, and Lisa was supposed to, they want the housewives to be shady and things like that. And I was like, this is y'all queen? She could not, she was so lackluster during BravoCon. I was like, okay. Even when she was on the the blue carpet, and talking to press, I was like, she's so lackluster. She can't really, I get it. There are certain funny moments. I think she's great for the show, but she's not the queen that y'all make her out to be. But I feel like the cast does that too. But here's the thing. I don't believe that John and Lisa are having marital issues, or at least not new marital issues, because I feel like they're playing with their marriage for some sort of storyline this season. And I don't like when people play with their marriages like that. I do believe Lisa doesn't listen, but I also believe that this is not a real issue for them. I think it's always been an issue, but they've learned to deal with it. And John doesn't care. I think John, when he needs her to hear him, she hears him. And I think Lisa says something like that during BravoCon. She's like, when John wants me to hear him, he puts his foot down. So this whole sort of John's quiet and she never lets him speak. I don't believe that. I feel like, again, this is a very much a storyline. DB says these aren't new problems. Yeah. Kendra says I miss seeing Henry. Yeah, Henry's funny. Her youngest son is funny. We haven't really seen him this season, right? I don't think we've seen him at all. But yeah, I'm sure we will. Dee says it's possible that John is tired. He did look tired in that conversation. But again, it felt like Lisa wasn't seeing or hearing him. And then at one particular point, he starts laughing. And I think normally we probably were like, oh, well, that wasn't very nice that he started laughing at her. She's like, don't do that. And then she starts crying when he says that she never lets him finish his thoughts. And he feels like their relationship is very much just like a business relationship. Honestly, I don't get love from their relationship. I don't get warm and fuzzy. You know what I mean? I just feel like it is like a business relationship. So I wouldn't be surprised if you tell me years from now, a couple of years from now, when Henry's older and out the house, I wouldn't be shocked if you told me they're getting a divorce. It doesn't feel like there's love between them. So I do believe the rumors that Lisa probably is flirting or cheating and things like that. I do believe those rumors because I don't feel like a passion between Lisa and John. I feel more like business partners. And he says that until she gets emotional in her confessional. She's just like, I don't understand. You know, that hurts me. And I'm like, okay. Lisa says that John doesn't hug her as much. I don't feel, I would really be interested to see their relationship off camera or their relationship in the early years. Because I don't get passion from them, which is very possible, especially with a couple that works with each other. I can see where it used to be passionate and now it's just business. Kano says that John looks exhausted with her, in my opinion. Aren't we exhausted with her? So it wouldn't shock me that John might be exhausted in this relationship. And some people, look, I know people that stay in relationships just for the children. So it wouldn't shock me that she's staying in this relationship for just for the children. And I don't understand why people do that. I mean, I understand, but at the same time, like you're hurting the children because you're staying in a loveless marriage and you're being a terrible example for the children. Just saying, I know some of y'all that are watching are in loveless marriages and you're staying because of the children. Not reading, y'all. Sorry. Bravo Vivian Cafe says, everybody's exhausted. DB says, we are exhausted. Ooh, golden butterflies. John may have a coleslaw on the side. You think? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think John might be very, especially right now with like preoccupied with the business and preoccupied with his son. Maybe, I'm not saying that John is innocent. We don't really know John, but I have a feeling he's not. DB says, I'm not staying in no loveless marriage. Life is too short. I don't blame you. Or single parent marriages. Well, you got that point, Ania. Darcy says, Meredith in an interview said that she had the video. Okay. The video of the flight? Okay. I'm sure she edited it, though. I need Mary to get some video. Just saying. Guys, if you're just joining us, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. We're talking about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And don't forget, you can hear an audio version of our live recaps and special episodes in the Kempire podcast. I also, speaking of BravoCon, we did do a full BravoCon recap. Here on YouTube, you can hear them in separate videos, but there's an extended version on the podcast where I give you more details in regards to day 3. So be sure to check that out on the Kempire podcast. And while you're there, do me a favor and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Bravo Vivian says, I think Lisa had a cucumber on the side. I told you I kind of believe that she cheated, but we don't know that for a fact. All right. Speaking of relationships, this scene with Brittany and Jared. And I said this last night when I was watching this, and I said it on X. Shout out to X for those of you watching on X. I feel like Jared is as delusional and as thirsty as Brittany. However, I felt for Brittany in this conversation. First of all, I think in any relationship, partners can take care of each other in different ways. I could see a woman bringing Starbucks to meet up with her partner. But when we're talking about Jared and Brittany and their tumultuous relationship, it stood out to me that she comes to meet up with him and she's the one bringing coffee and she's bringing Starbucks. You know what I mean? Ooh, Kendra says that John is a Scorpio. He was giving Taurus energy in that conversation. Because you know that's our sister sign, Scorpio. Shout out to the Scorpios. It's still Scorpio season. And tomorrow's a new moon. So it stood out to me, Brittany bringing him coffee. And I was just like, okay, fine. So they end up having a conversation. She hugs him. She's like, this feels good. Okay. But Jared's issue with Brittany, he had a conversation with Justin, Whitney's husband, and found out that Brittany was flirting with the crew. So Jared is sort of like, I thought you were on a 30-day fast, but I hear that you're talking to other guys, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, Whitney says that I've seen him at the gym and he's talking and flirting with other women. So Jared's not completely innocent. And this is when he's with Brittany, reportedly. Okay? But he says that that Brittany runs every 5 seconds and he's looking for someone more stable. But here's the thing. And I have Brittany's back in this scene because she's like, do you want a relationship with me? Do you want to be my boyfriend? And he's like, I would like for you to be stable. So he never answers the question. So now I'm looking at, yes, Brittany's not stable. However, I'm looking at Jared like, oh, you're not answering the question. You're not being 100%. But here's the thing, Brittany, where I can't even defend you this week because he was at BravoCon with you. This conversation should have been the last bit. This should have been the cherry on top when it comes to your relationship with him. Queen D says they gaslight each other. They are so toxic. I'm telling you right now, Brittany, because I know you value the show over Jared and your relationship and your daughters. If you come back next season with Jared, I'm done with you. I don't want to see you back on next season. Production, I know you watch. If she comes back with a storyline with Jared, I'm done. I don't care. I'm over it. She's too grown. She's probably one of the oldest women in this group, and this is not age shaming, but she is. It's a fact. And she's acting like she is a teenager. If you come back next season with a Jared storyline, I'm done. I don't care about you and Jared in this on-again, off-again relationship. Let's be done with it. Witcher says 2 grown bums. So, but here's the thing, Brittany. I know you value the show over this relationship. So choose the show. Choose the show. I'd much rather see her date someone else. I don't want this situation with Jared again next season. Just saying. Let me say thank you. We had a couple of super chats. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. You can also support just by liking the video. Thank you for those that send in cash apps, Venmos, things like that. I have to do not disturb on so I don't see it when you guys send them. So thank you though. I love when I go to my cash app or my Venmo and it's a little bit of a balance for lunch. Just saying. Thank you, Kendra, for the super chat. Kendra says Brittany should have played Lisa's rant the whole fight and asked her when she was going to do the other half of New York.
Got it. Mary can go f*** herself. I'm done with her. Because I'm not a whore and I don't cheat on my husband. Her and a dumb family that poses. Why don't you own a house? Wait, you can't. Because your husband changes jobs every 5 minutes? Fake Mary thinks a piece of I have your back and I'm offended by that. You that piece of garbage whore. I hate her. She's a whore. She's half of New York. She can go f*** herself.
You're right, though. That would have been hilarious if she had done that. She was like, how about you go do the other half of New York? That would have been hilarious. Thanks, Kendra, for that, for the nice segue. You know, I almost went throughout this entire recap without playing that clip. Cece, thank you for being a member for the super chat. Cece says, hey, Kemp, just want to show you some love. I've been following you for years. Love your content. Happy holidays. Thank you, Cece. I appreciate that. Happy holidays to you, too. Thank you. City says, the gift that keeps on giving. I'm telling you, when I have my daytime talk show, and I know Meredith and Lisa may come on, I'm going to play it. I don't care. They know it now. They can't. It's not going to be a surprise. I'm playing it. Okay? At least by then, we'll be able to get licensing to play the actual video. No, but I prefer my version. But maybe we could play my version with the video version. You know what I mean? Crocodile Aretha says, I love you for this sound. Thank you. I love it. And mind you, this version is not the version that you see on the episode. This is the one I edited with all the music and stuff like that. Just saying. And Coco says, yes, the music is necessary. I'm in my creative bag. Yes. So moving on. Let's move on. Let me just drop the call link for our Royal Court members and senior royals first. I'm going to drop this for you guys before we continue with our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap live chat. Once we get to, let's get to 300 likes, and I will drop the call link for the general audience as well. So keep liking the video if you haven't already. If you're a Royal Court member and Senior Royal, I've already dropped the call link for you guys. Team Kempire members, I will drop the call link for you guys in just a second. Okay. All right. Where was I? So Brittany and Jared have this conversation. It doesn't end well. She walks away from him. He tries to pull her back in. And when she asks him a straight question about their relationship and he wants to be in a relationship with her, he can't answer. He's like, well, if you can be stable. So Jared is just as bad, if not worse, than Brittany. Brittany, though, like I said before, I know you will choose the show over him, so choose the show. Okay? Speaking of toxic relationships, Bronwyn and Todd. And I know I've defended the Todd father before, but I don't know what I'm watching here. And he doesn't see her. It doesn't even feel like he respects Bronwyn. But Bronwyn feels like she doesn't want to give up the lifestyle. Because remember, here's the thing. Not only does she have a certain lifestyle, the house, the money, the outfits, things like that, she also has him taking care of her family. So there's a lot of things at stake here when it comes to Bronwyn and Todd's relationship. So she had spoke to him before he came back from New York, and she was like, let's have a conversation. So they sit down to have a conversation, and the Todd father's in there, being all grumpy. And Bronwyn says, she ends up not feeling good enough when he does things like this, like talking to other women. This is when they flash back to when she opens up to the crew about everything that he did before in their relationship. Remember during that reunion, he says, he's working on making that up to Bronwyn. Like there are certain things that he's doing to make it up to Bronwyn. Yet here he is again caught doing the same thing. So Bronwyn now is at an impasse. Because she's sort of like, well, I'm willing to have some sort of arrangement with you. And Todd's like this. He's like, you could already tell he's not feeling this idea. And he didn't seem shocked by the conversation. But at the same time, she's just like, she's willing to have, she doesn't say open marriage, but she's willing to have some sort of arrangement. She's saying that she would like to evolve with him. They've been together for 11 years. So she's like, I'm willing to evolve with you. Okay. And we know what that evolving means, meaning that they could bring other people into their marriage. Look, I appreciate the conversation on this show because I think a lot of people are in open relationships, but they're not open about it with other people, which is fine. It's their personal business. Mills says, not Todd being for the streets. That's what it feels like. Apparently making out and passing gas at the same time. That's what Angie said that Lisa told her. So Todd admits that he was wrong and that he's happy with their current arrangement. But honestly, I cringed when she brought up the open marriage on camera because we have to remember Todd is in a world of corporate America. He's a bigwig in corporate America. The last thing he wants is for his fellow guys to know that he's in this open relationship. I'm actually surprised he's even doing the show, to be honest with you. He seems like he's doing it begrudgingly. So she brings that up, but he's like, no, I think our problem is the fact that we don't talk about some of the things that we need to talk about. And especially with this recent situation, we didn't talk about it. So he's like, he doesn't want to change anything. Bronwyn talks about how she talked about their sex life with Whitney. And he's like, I don't understand why you would talk or share anything with this group of untrustworthy friends. And here's where I agree with Todd. Because that's the one thing I would say in my relationship I would not want with my partner, that you're taking what we're going. It's one thing to talk about it with your best friend and stuff like that, but I would also expect that there would be limits with the amount of stuff that you're sharing with your friends. Kendra says, "Why is he farting? What's wrong with his stomach?" I mean, a lot of people have stomach issues. You know, not a lot of people are doing all the things they should be doing, like with the pre and probiotics. Just saying. But yeah. So Todd says, I don't understand why you would share this information with untrustworthy friends. That's the element that I agree with him with, because she's sharing this with a group of women on reality show that really aren't close friends. It's one thing to share it with like your best friend, but to share you wanting to be in an open relationship with this group of women on camera, I can't blame him for being upset about that. But Bronwyn says, and this is where she kind of breaks the fourth wall. She says, I just feel like that I should be able to confide in my friends. These are not your friends. Okay? So she's still trying to justify, and she gets emotional and she starts crying. And he's like, don't cry. And she's trying to justify being able to open up to her friends about their relationship. I understand where Todd is coming from in regards to not wanting to share those details. I definitely understand that. All right, guys, we're almost at 250 likes. So keep liking the video if you haven't already. CC, thank you so much for another super chat. CC says, did you get the $20 super chat I sent with my last comment, or is Google trying to play with my pocketbook? No, we got it. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, yeah, I got it. CC, we read it. You may have missed it when I read it, CC. Oh, wait, I forgot to shimmy. It was $20. Hold on. $20, get a shimmy. Thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, we did get it. I read it. Maybe you missed it. Did you step away? CC, maybe you missed it. We did read your super chat. But thank you. Thank you for another one. Yes, everyone's letting her know. Yep, he got it. Thank you, and happy holidays, CC. All right. So back to our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap, guys. I did drop the call link for the general audience. Well, not the general audience, for our Royal Court members and senior royals. I just dropped the call link for our Team Kempire members as well. We're almost at 250 likes. Once we get to 250 likes, I will drop the call in link. I said 300, but I'll drop it for 250. Just so that wait, let me just see. How many people backstage? Please hold. Oh, wait, we got a couple people backstage. I want to share their thoughts on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Shout out to our members. Become a member today at teamkempire.com/join. All right. Okay. Cece says, I did step away. I'm so sorry. I'm working and listening. It's okay. It's all right. But no, we did read your super chat. I thought maybe I missed it. I was like, wait, did we miss it? But then at least you got your shimmy. Cece, you got your shimmy. Shimmy. Sorry. All right. Mary Jane's baby says that, thank you for being a member. She says, Bronwyn's trying to keep her storyline going. Dee Dee says that Bronwyn's not going to let go of that money. Especially when she's at BravoCon talking about how she pays the designers full price for her outfits and things like that. So, yeah, she's not going to give up that lifestyle. And again, if she thinks the lifestyle of being on Housewives is going to continue that, no, it's not. Look at some of the housewives that are now single. No, this lifestyle, unless you have you start $1 million business. DB, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships to the channel. We appreciate that. Be sure to thank DB for your membership. Real House Husband got a membership. Dr. Omar got a membership. I'm at Work got a membership. Christian got a membership. Thank you. Indira got a membership. So be sure to say thank you. All right. Mary's church reopening is happening. Why is it every time Mary goes to open the door, it never opens? Is it a thing? Did production go ahead and lock the door? They could have, because they literally were on the inside recording. Okay? So Mary can't open the church door. She's like, Lenny. Lenny finally comes, and Lenny's running, I guess, because they're trying to do all kinds of stuff. So Mary comes in. Mary's nervous because she hasn't spoken in front of the church in 2 years. What did they do for 2 years? Where was the church meeting? Were they meeting somewhere else? So we have a scene with Heather and Whitney in the car. Remember, Whitney went to her church with her father when she was speaking to her father, who's going through addiction. So Whitney's been to the church before. That's important to keep in mind when you're looking at the scene. So Mary said this will be the first time in a long time since she's preached in front of the church. Robert Jr., we find out, is not going to attend because she says when he got in the car, she noticed that he was high. Yeah. Oh, Toy says probably online. Okay. Whitney says she can't believe that she's going back to Mary's church after calling it a cult. And remember, they flashed back to that moment when she did that. And I almost forgot about that too, because all of them were referring to it as such. It made me wonder, though, if the church seen any of that and was probably looking at Whitney and the other ladies like, y'all call this a cult. So, and there are a lot of religions that people might consider a cult. I thought the scene was really good. I did tear up watching Mary preach in front of the church. And I think I teared up more so when she was talking about not being able to be around her mother when her mother died. But yeah, so they all meet up outside. And look, if you ever doubted Mary and Angie's relationship, for me in this moment when Angie rolls up and Bronwyn's sitting there waiting, she doesn't know anybody, but Angie rolls up. She's like, Auntie. Everyone sees her. They love her. They know her. That's how you know that Angie and Mary are real friends. And they're real deep friends. For her to know members of the church. So I thought that was actually really, really sweet moment and stood out to me. And Brown was like, of course she knows people here, Angie. So Meredith and Lisa end up coming a little bit later than everyone else. And Meredith has her boot on. They ask her, like, Heather, this is why Heather is funny on the show. She's like, did you hurt your foot kicking the chair on the flight? And she's like, you know Meredith, okay? So they end up going in, and everyone was surprised to see Meredith and Lisa there. And Meredith's like, I don't know why they would be surprised. I've been a support for Mary for years. Toy said, valid question. Valid question. Chris says she's a real friend to Mary. I will say, I don't know how deep the friendship is with Meredith and Mary, but there definitely is a friendship there. I definitely feel like Angie and Mary's friendship is definitely deeper. So, and maybe because they connected on something specific. Missy says the nasal laugh. I mean, look, okay. Oh, man. So they end up going into church and they start the ceremony. Auntie is delivering. She's preaching. Like I've been to multiple different churches. I don't know about you guys. But I don't think I've ever been to a Pentecostal church. Have I? I don't think so. So we're still, we're seeing them have a good old time in the church, and they're all, and I have to give it to the ladies of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They seemed really into it. Some people, they seem like a little stiff. They seemed really into it. Even Meredith was just like really engaged and into it. And I'm not going to judge Mary's message off an edited show because they all seem to be touched by it. And like even the message that we got, I was touched. So I can only imagine the full version because I'm sure there was like maybe like an hour of conversation that was happening. So they're there and they're all engaged and they're like having a good old time, but they're hot. Whitney made a joke, she thinks that the two whores in church are going to burn up. And you see Meredith and Lisa sweating. My thing is 2 years of renovations and they didn't add air conditioning. But I have to say, not everyone looks sweaty. So maybe Whitney was right. Mrs. Ginger says, you're missing out. I'll go. You invite me to your church? Just saying. Right? Mr. Mellimack says they didn't seem judgmental, which is why I was like, wow. Right? They seemed engaged. They were dancing and they were getting into the message. They were doing the callbacks. I loved it. So Mary gets up and delivers her message. Mary has a gold mic. She's not beating those allegations. She had a gold mic, but she looked great. That red on her, she looked really, really good. Scorpio said it's menopause. Could have been. Yes, China, we talked about when Mary appeared on Angie's Wife Swap. We did talk about it a couple of episodes ago. So Mary delivers her message. I have to say, it was a touching message. I did tear up watching her deliver the message. Okay, she talked about not being invited to her mother's funeral. She then calls out to all the ladies. She calls out to Bronwyn. Bronwyn felt touched by that. I think Mary does have a thing, and I think if you went to BravoCon or if you saw the footage from BravoCon, people love Mary. So there definitely is a thing. And it seems like even in this group, when Mary is so harsh with them and says things to them, even calling you an inbred, somehow people just are endeared to Mary. She might have a thing. She might be a prophet. That's why I don't look her directly in the eyes. I'm just saying. Yeah, her Bible had bling on it too. Not beating those allegations. But anyway. So they're having a good time. Mary is delivering messages to each of the women. She says, "Mayor." She's looking at Lisa. She's speaking to Lisa. Lisa was actually not just sweating, but she was also emotional. So I thought this was a really, really beautiful moment for the cast. I'm glad they ended the episode this way. Everyone she connected with. But you know when she called to Whitney, I really felt for Whitney because you remember when Whitney was in there, the last time that Whitney was in this church, she was with her father. And you know she's not talking to her father right now. Her father, I think, is still in the throes of addiction. And she brought him to the church for healing. And that was the last time, I think one of the last times that she was there with her father. Elsling says, "Kempire, I would love for you to join me at my church, Promised Land Church of God in West Haven, Connecticut. We are a multicultural Pentecostal church." And that's not far, L. Singleton. We're going to have to make a plan, L. Singleton. Got me up going to church. Going to put on my suit. I got a couple of suits, so, I'm ready to go. Just say it. West Haven, what time is church? Look, what time is church? Because I'm coming from the city. City says Kempire is cracking himself up. Sometimes that happens. I'm not saying it's funny, but it's funny to me. All right. So, okay, before we move on and get to the callers. So Lisa says exactly what I was feeling. She's like, it doesn't matter what church that you're going to. People can feel connected within the church. But then she says, I donate to all the churches. I don't subscribe to the Church of Satan, but we'll donate to them too when they ask. So producers are like, wait, what? Yeah. She donates to the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan wants tequila. We're gonna, we're gonna donate to the Church of Satan. This is why Lisa is funny on this show. All of them. Okay. So she says, yeah, she's donating to the church. And that's why I feel, because look, I'm not the most religious person. I'm probably more spiritual than religious. And I did grow up at Jehovah's Witnesses, but I also went to Catholic school. So I grew up with a lot of religion. But I also understand, I don't judge people that are very religious. I understand people connect to religion because sometimes it's healing through trauma. Sometimes it's just having a community. Everyone connects to churches for different reasons. So I don't judge people that are super churchy. I only judge you if you're judging me, my lifestyle. Or who I am, okay? Oh, hold on, wait a second. Q Potato says, no shade, but the Church of Satan is the only church that was offering solutions when they didn't have food stamps. I'm just saying. Wait a minute. What? Oh. Okay. Damn. I don't know if it was the only church. I do know Pastor Jamal's church was offering solutions too. So, but yeah, exactly. Miss Lee says there's something about Mary. There's something about Mary, like the movie. All right, let's get to these super chats, and then I do want to get to our callers. Thank you, Vanessa, for the super chat. Oh, Vanessa sends $20. Vanessa Butterfly Vital says, I'm putting your ornament in the mail today. I hope you love it. Thank you. Yes, guys. For those that didn't know, I was telling everyone to send ornaments. Well, one ornament. Don't send a whole box of ornaments. Send one ornament that represents yourself or the community for the Christmas tree. Please do not send pictures of yourself because, copyright and especially children and stuff like that. Sidebar, y'all. What does it mean? I had a dream that I got a dog. I had a dream last night that I had a dog. I literally can tell you what the dog looks like. It almost had like cherry blondish hair, so like a cherry blonde. I was like, what's this dog? And I had a dream I had a dog last night. Am I gonna get a dog? No, I gotta keep traveling and stuff. Thank you, Vanessa, for the super chat. I will, since you gave me a heads up, I will give it some time. What's today? Today's Wednesday. I will give it some time before I go check the mailbox. Okay, Kendra, thank you for another super chat. Kendra says, what's the name of the cookie shop that you love? Oh, you mean the place that I went the other day, Kendra? It's not necessarily a cookie shop. It's in, what is it called? Holiday Square, 35th and Broadway, Ian's Cookies. I went there the other day, and the cookies were delicious. Before the season's over, I will definitely go back. Because that's how delicious they were. But they give you a whole lot of cookies. I gave some cookies to my friend. I gave some cookies to my other friend. And I still had a whole bunch of cookies. Q says, that was a random sidebar. They always are, aren't they? Cindy says, your billionaire is coming. Hopefully he is a ethical billionaire. I know those are hard to find, but mine will be. Okay? Even if he's a multimillionaire. I'm not kicking him out. Just saying. Okay, let's get to our callers. Please keep in mind the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of myself, the Kempire LLC, or our sponsors. And everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion. They're calling in of their own free will. All right. Okay, hold on. Patricia, are you a psychic? Patricia says you have a man coming into your life dreaming of a dog. Is that what that means? Because, can I tell y'all more about my dream? So here's the thing. So I have a dream that I get the dog. I put the dog to lay in its like a little bed thing. And then when I was just about to wake up, I'm just about to get up, the dog is like right by my side in the bed. What? Just saying. All right, let's get to our callers, guys. We did hit, we're almost at 300 likes. So I'm going to drop the call link for the general audience as well. We're going to get to the callers. Shout out to everyone watching on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, X. We see you guys. If you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know where you're watching from, how you would rate this week's episode, and your thoughts on the episode and what we had to say, and your reaction to some of the things that we had to say, or your interpretation of my dream. Just saying. All right, let me see how you guys are rating this week's episode too on YouTube. 82% of you rated this week's episode between a 7 and an 8. Okay. Winter says, I want to dream of a dog now. What happened? Melissa says, Kempire, is Tyler backstage? She always has a great stuff to say. I believe Tyler goes by he, him, his, right, Tyler? Or is Tyler backstage? No, Tyler's not backstage. All right, let me bring up Nelson the Virgo first. Nelson the Virgo, what did you want to share?
Oh my God, hey. Wow, being first is creepy. What thoughts did I have real quick? You know what, Kemp? I remember that time that, I know this might be a little off topic, that I had mentioned the thing about Mary's mom, and we didn't know if it was true or not.
Oh.
I remember that. I remember you were like, oh, I said allegedly because I didn't know if it was a thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that it was, and I think at the time we were talking about the reason why Angie and Mary became such good friends was because of what it was that they went through with their moms and stuff like that. Like Mary not having her mother and then Angie not having her mom. It kind of felt like two deaths, even though Mary did have her mom alive for like a while.
But the relationship.
Right. The relationship wasn't what it was. So it was very interesting when I saw that thing with when she met, because I low-key just caught up to like all the episodes because I've been watching your recaps, but I finally saw everything at once. And when you binge all the episodes at once, it just feels different.
It lands differently.
Everything landed differently. So I was like, oh my God, like the stuff at the below deck stuff, I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait for that. But even watching all that, I was like, I really feel like they're definitely putting extra sauce with the Britney stuff. But I just don't feel like if they're obviously, and maybe it's produced, obviously, but like it doesn't feel. I don't know, like even the stuff with Monica, like I feel like they're trying to get to that season 4 level, but this stuff doesn't, like, I'm not mad at it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad that y'all are trying to hype up like an argument that happened on a plane, because it's something that we can like if you had the footage, we would see it, but if you don't, it's okay, because it has all of us engaged. Like, we're literally like, what happened?
Yeah.
Did that really happen? Or maybe it didn't happen. Meredith's a lawyer. She knows. The air marshal thing is what always takes me out, because she's right. If she was doing something reckless, she would have been taken out in cuffs. So I just find Real Houses of Salt Lake City is really feeding us. So I'm really looking forward to, I hope that Atlanta is going to deliver, allegedly. But we'll see about that. But yeah, I don't think I had any other thoughts. But thanks, Cam.
Thanks, Nelson.
Have a good one.
You too. I forgot to turn the timer on for Nelson, but he was fine. He was probably a little bit over a minute. Miss Bernice is backstage. Miss Bernice is probably saying, I hope you forget to put the timer on for me.
You know I am.
What's going on, Miss Bernice?
Good afternoon. What up, though, everybody? This is from someone who's 59, is about to turn 60 next month.
Oh.
Whenever you have to bring someone else in your marriage is over. Your foundation is weak. It's made of sand. You can't take it anymore. If you don't have a good foundation when you come on this show, it's going to literally deteriorate in front of you. And that's what Bronwyn and Todd has done from last season to this season. The true colors are completely out now. They are the living definition of, to me, a song, A Stranger in My House. They have grown apart in two different directions. And Todd is trying to so badly put her back in the same jar that he found her in. And Bronwyn has outgrown that. And she don't want to go back. And you don't talk. Listen to me, people. You do not talk to your girlfriends about your sex life with your boyfriend or your husband.
Yeah, I agree.
Because one, they are going to be jealous, and then that jealous going to turn into envy. When they turn to envy, they're going to want what you got. You give them the bare minimum. Oh, it's good. That's all you need to know. I don't need to give you we did this in this way or that way. He satisfies me. That's all you need to know. Next subject.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's for the wise. I've seen many relationships tear down between girlfriends because one girlfriend is just so happy that she's in love and he treating her right and everything, and she's getting all the glow. And the ones who got that darkness in them, they're going to want that glow that you're getting. And they're going to do whatever they got to do to undermine your relationship to get that glow.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
There's a stranger in my... Sorry.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Miss Bernice, thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, boo. And for all those who was getting SNAP benefits, they're telling everybody they got to reapply. It's not going to automatically come back on your card. So if you got family members who getting SNAP benefits, tell them to reapply.
Yeah, I did hear that. I reposted something too on Instagram, guys, that you guys should see in regards to SNAP benefits and how some of that big, beautiful bill has changed the criteria for it. So do your due diligence if you know someone, if you yourself are. So thank you, Miss Esquire, for that. Miss Esquire, sorry. So Miss Esquire coming. Miss Bernice, thank you.
Okay, love you, boo.
Bye. All right. I saw Miss Esquire come in. Miss Esquire, we'll get to you in a second. We have Nia up next. Nia, what did you want to share?
Hey, so just very quick, actually. I do like Lisa. She's extra, but we need that for TV. I do believe she's going through it, and like John is just very like emotional in the church, or she was actually really emotional. I think Bronwyn is jealous of Angie and Mary. I caught her comment. She's like, of course she knows everyone. It's giving evil eyes, so prayers for Angie and Mary. And lastly, Bronwyn, the Virgo pension planner, is practically begging for a divorce at this point. So I do want to know the laws in actual Utah. Like, do you get half after 10 years? Because let's be real, first season in, she's already complaining about her money. I'm not buying it. And lastly, I'm here for Brittany. I think she's a paid actress. The dramatics, the what about me, I'm here for it. We need a sound effect for what about me, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Nia.
The Virgo pension planner.
Not the Virgo pension plan. Thank you so much. Oh, Kendra. Uh-oh. Do I have to twerk for this? Lord, Kendra sends in a $50 super chat. Definitely gonna shimmy. If I was standing up, I would twerk for you. You know, I like to twerk on a fence. Kendra, thank you so much for super chat. Kendra says, through a quick Google search and your help, I found the cookies. That is a cute bucket. They come in. Grab some today. Merry Christmas. The sidebar had a purpose. Oh. Thank you, Kendra. I appreciate that. I am going to give me some cookies. Those cookies were delicious, especially if you eat them there because they are so soft. But they're soft for like a couple of days. Maybe like on the third day, because again, there were so many cookies and I had given away some. They were still soft, but you could tell that they were getting a little. I was like, you got to eat them quick. But they give you a lot of cookies. And honestly, you have to eat some of those cookies there in order to close the bucket. Yeah. So anyway, so Ian's Cookies, Broadway and 5th? No, Broadway and 35th. Sorry. 35th and Broadway, right outside of Macy's. You'll see it. And honestly, I went early before like the evening rush and I didn't wait that long, maybe like 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, it was worth it though. All right, Toya's backstage and bring Toya up next. Toya, what did you want to share about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Hey, Kempire, how are you?
Why are we whispering?
Oh, I had to turn my volume. I'm not at work.
Oh, go ahead. It's all right.
All right. I just wanted to say I thought it was really nice that the ladies, had that little brunch for Brittany. I thought that was so sweet of them because we all know they really don't even care for Brittany like that. And I really believe them about what Meredith did because, for one, they don't like her that much. They don't like Brittany that much to take up for her like they have. True. And Mary doesn't even like Brittany. And she said it again that she wasn't going to give a nice voice note because she really don't like Brittany, but she can still stand up for someone being bullied. And I do believe something happened.
Yeah.
But, Miss Meredith Marks is not going to incriminate herself. I thought Bronwyn trying to have a conversation with Todd on camera was a little bit distasteful. Like, girl, he's a businessman. Like, he don't want to have that conversation. Like, just keep it classy, keep it short, keep it sweet. Brittany, the what about me? Yes, we need that to be. We need to get that clip somewhere.
What about me?
Yes, and that's on what's his name, Mr. Osmond, Jerry? Yes,
Jerry.
He's such a gaslighter. Oh my God! But she's still with him, so whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
Thanks, Toya. Get back to work.
Kempire. I will. Bye-bye.
Bye. But we appreciate when you guys call in for work because I'm like, what's going on? Why are we hiding? Do you need help? Send help. All right, April's backstage. We're gonna bring April up next. April. Oh, hold on, Angel. April. There we go. April Aries.
Hi, Kempire. I'm also at work, so let me make it quick. This episode, I know, don't judge me. So this episode, I wasn't like really feeling it too much. I gave it like a 6, maybe strong 7.5 because I feel like they're trying to like push Brittany down our throats. I do believe Meredith did do something, but I just can't take her because once you're a terrible mother, that's it for me. Like you're done. And I just couldn't take it. Oh, I also did look up about the dog for your dream. So it was saying loyalty, friendship, and companionship and protection whenever the dog appears in your dream. So yeah, that's all I had. I'm going to go back to being a worker bee. Have a great day.
Thanks, April.
You're welcome. Bye.
Here's the thing. I agree with April that the episode was just okay. It wasn't terrible because we've watched terrible episodes of different cities before. But remember, Andy said that these next few episodes of Salt Lake City were going to be not pinnacle, but he was like, they're really, really good. I'm like, so far I can't say that that's true, but that's Andy Cohen. Exactly. Thank you, Theo. Theo and I are on the same page. Theo says, I have no idea why Andy said that this was one of his favorite episodes because it was borderline filler. See? I agree. But that's why Andy has no credibility when he says stuff like that. Okay. Let's bring up Angel next. Angel, what did you want to share?
Hey, Kempire.
Hey.
So I'm going to use my 3-year-old's word, pooped. And Heather, Brittany, and Bronwyn are full of pooped. Okay? Bronwyn is lying on Todd. It is not as big as a deal as she's making it out to be, I believe. And that's why Todd is not even giving her the energy back with it. He's just staying catchy. And then for Heather, I think she's putting 10 on 2 with whatever happened with Meredith. I think Meredith probably did self-implode and black out and doesn't really remember what she did, but I don't think it's as serious as the rest of the cast is making it. And then for Brittany, girl, she's just showing us that she's a train wreck in every aspect of her life, from parenting down to her horrible on-again, off-again relationship with Jared. She thought that scene was going to go a different way, and it made her true colors show even more. Oh. And then sidebar, what I was trying to tell you on TikTok about Angel was, so when she was in Brooke's live, I caught her in the comments. And so I called her out, and then Brooke's mod caught it and he called it out too. He's like, I thought I was the only one. And so when Brooke met Angel at BravoCon, they had a long conversation, and Angel confirmed that she is definitely in the comments. She knows everything we say about her being a Eeyore spirit, and Kiana knows everything we say about Greg, and they're a little hot about that. So they tried to flip Brooke, but we told Brooke, stand strong. They're fake.
She's a big softie. Brooke is a big softie.
I know her part is too good. She needs to let that go. And then last sidebar, I hope you enjoy Brandy tomorrow, and I hope Ray J does not sing for you, because that is his plan according to his interview this morning.
No, we will boo him off the stage.
I'm praying that doesn't happen for you, because we missed that blessing. It's not in my spirit. I hope he don't do it.
No, one wish. No, he was never a vocalist. Goodbye. Thanks, Angel. Bye.
Bye, Kim. Have a good one.
You too. Oh God, he's in New York. Oh God. All right, Miss Esquire's backstage. We're gonna bring her up next. Miss Esquire, what's going on?
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, how are you?
I'm good. So here's the thing. I need people to recognize that Bronwyn is on the Camille grammar plan. She came on this show to set her marriage up for divorce. And, I support women's rights and wrongs. So I'm with it. But I think we really just need to kind of recognize this for what it is. Bronwyn wants out of that marriage. They've been married 10 years. That's going to entitle her to certain things in the dissolution of that marriage. I think she is setting herself up as a long-suffering wife to a husband who doesn't see her, doesn't appreciate her, so that when she goes through that divorce, we're all rooting for her. I don't know if it's going to work out the way she plans it to, but, I'm here for the entertainment. If you want to, tear up your family on television for my entertainment, I will watch the train wreck. But that's neither here nor there. Also, with Brittany, I think we need to also understand there are just some women on these shows who we know don't fit into the friend group, but they're entertaining to watch. Yes. Stacey Rush is that on Roe. She does not belong with that group of women. They would never be friends in real life, but she's very entertaining to watch, right? And so I think we need to value those kind of cast members. And I think if anybody is going to be able to check that, it is Salt Lake, because they want to remain like the golden child of the housewives. Yep. They want to keep that standing. They're making a lot of money because of that. Yep. I think they're going to recognize, listen, she's good television. We need to find a way to bring her into the fold. So I think that is what a lot is going on. I'm really interested to talk about the Mary Cosby of it all with the church, but we can talk about that as the season goes on. I cannot. Well, when they go visit her church, what we saw in some of the previews and stuff. Yeah. I'm very interested in that, because I've come to see Mary a little bit differently. I'm trying to see her through the lens of my Baptist upbringing, where there's a lot of reverence for preachers and preachers' first ladies, and that there's this idea of the prosperity gospel being preached. I used to really see her through that cult lens, and I'm like, maybe I need to view her through my own religious experience, and that there's a cultural competence that I have for what I'm seeing that other people might misinterpret as a cult, but I know what I'm seeing. Like, even if she has been unkind, unfair, and even cruel to people, or, financially taking advantage of them, I've seen all of that in my church experience, and I would never call the churches I've been to a cult. So I'm watching these next few episodes with a different eye.
Are you going to watch the documentary? Because I would really want to hear your perspective after watching the documentary.
Oh, I absolutely will. I mean, because I was raised in like a church that became a mega church and that had a lot of scandal. And so, yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. But I don't know. I'm not softening to Mary, because if she harmed people, if her church harmed people, they need to be held to account for that. But I'm also like, I don't want to whitewash this. Like, I know what the Black church experience can be, particularly in the Pentecostal or missionary Baptist in my instance. It can be a little zealous. It really can be, but that doesn't mean it's a cult.
Even the footage
kind of
that
a
they
fine
shared,
line.
even the footage that they shared in the trailer, I was like, okay, what part of what you're sharing is the cult part, y'all? Because like the footage within the church, I was like, you've obviously never been to a Black church.
Because how many pastors' anniversaries have I been where they've been like, everybody needs to give $500, and if y'all not really giving the gifts, people are getting talked to crazy.
Close the doors.
How many times? Listen, close the doors. How many love offerings have I had them ask for while I've been at church for somebody's birthday or anniversary, or just because somebody is visiting preaching? Like, I've seen that, and I have never thought of it as a cult. Now, maybe that's my trauma talking, and I need to, examine that. But I'm really trying to look at this through my cultural experience and not have it be whitewashed for me, if that makes sense.
Because
sorry to get into all of that.
No. I think it's important, because I think that's what makes Salt Lake City so fascinating too. It's because of this element of Mormonism, but also Mary's church and things like that. And when I think about cults, because I've watched and talked about a bunch of cults on this channel, and when we think about like Scientology, I don't think Scientology is a church at all.
No,
I definitely think it's
Scientology is a business, honestly.
And it's a front for a lot of damning things that we can't talk about here, including trafficking. So that's where I feel like, well, if we want to talk about cults, like that is a straight up cult.
But I think that there's also, we're going to get into it more, but I also think I looked up the history of her church and how her grandmother founded that church. Her grandmother sounds like a religious zealot. Like, that woman walked across the country to Utah. If y'all look up and I'm not saying what I found on a Wikipedia site or Reddit, I went to the church website. It is a very interesting story of this woman basically walking. I'm not lying. Like, she caught some trains along the way, but she walked from nearly Missouri to Utah with her children in tow and founded this church. It has a very interesting founding and a cult of personality around her grandmother that it's like, I just don't know. It kind of sits very, very much on that line. But I mean, of course, I'm like, these people in Utah who practice Mormonism, y'all throwing stones from glass house, baby. I don't want to hear.
That's what everyone's saying. Oh, did we lose you, Miss Esquire? Are you there?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, but that's it. We can get into it more, but will. The previews are starting to hit me. Like, I'm like, we need to watch this space.
And then the documentary comes out on January 1st on TLC. I mean, it's TLC documentary, so then there's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
It ain't HBO, child. No tea, no shade, no pink lemonade. Okay.
Thanks, Ms.
Talk
Esquire.
to you soon.
Take care. I mean, it was the Learning Channel. That's what TLC represents, y'all. But it's also the home of 90 Day Fiancé, their #1 show. But okay. All right. Final caller. Definitely last but definitely not least. Missy is here. Missy, what did you want to share in regards to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like being sneaky because I'm also at work.
It's okay.
Okay. So real quick, I want to add on to what Miss Bernice said about being a little bit too open with your friends about your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was in a 5-year relationship, and it was really good and solid, and we were about to get married. And I spoke to one of my friends of 15 years about this man, And I don't know what happened. I don't know what hoo-ha she put on us. Like when she saw me happy, that relationship started to go down the hill real fast.
What?
It went crazy. This guy started ignoring my calls, like little by little. He went from saying that you don't call me enough to then just starting to ignore my calls.
Mm.
And I found out later on that she was filling his ears with stuff.
What?
So when Miss Bernice says don't open up fully to even your girlfriends, please keep in mind that your relationships are sacred.
Mm.
And you don't need to tell them, you don't need to tell your friends all the nitty gritty of it because your friends come and go.
Yeah.
But the man or the woman you're about to marry, that's supposed to be forever.
Mm.
So that's just something I wanted to add on. Secondly, this man that, also about the cult thing.
Yeah.
This man that I was seeing, he was not, I'm Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
He was Christian.
Mm.
So, and he was as rednecky Christian as
Oh.
ever. He was American. He was
Oh.
American Christian.
Mm.
So he was very curious about my religion. And when I told him things like that we face the Kaaba for our 5-time prayers, daily 5-time prayers.
Yeah.
He's like, it sounds like a cult. I'm like, oh boy, let's not go there.
Yeah.
You are Catholic, sir. There are things. So it's a very thin line between what looks like a cult and what isn't a cult. It's very easy to cross over when you don't understand the religion.
Yeah.
So when it comes to religion, please, coming from a Muslim, study the religion first before making assumptions.
No. Okay.
There are lots of churches. We have Catholics in Pakistan. I'm Pakistani. So a lot of churches in Pakistan who put up the front of being charitable. When you go visit their homes of pastors, they're filthy rich. Filthy rich. And the people who are donating, they barely have any food to eat.
Wow.
And when you go and talk to these pastors, they say the sweetest things. It's the same with the imams. I'm a woman in Pakistan. We can't really talk to imams directly, but my father used to. And he said they say the best things, but they do all the wrong things. So don't judge the religion. Judge the people who are pushing the religion. And be very certain that you study. Because when you insult someone's religious beliefs, it hits their core.
Yeah, their value system.
Yeah, so you have to be very mindful. When it comes to Mary, judge her actions and not what people say.
Okay, Missy, thank you for calling in and sharing your perspective and your story.
Yeah, and watch out for your friends, please. They they say the nice things, but you don't know when they're going to stab you in the back.
Ooh, so you ended up breaking up with that guy?
I ended up breaking up with him, and he said that we got in touch about a year ago when my dad died because he heard about my dad's passing. He's like, losing me was the biggest mistake of his life. And the thing about, I'm Pisces, the thing about Pisces women is that we fall in love fast, but once we fall out of love, we're done. It's over.
Wow. So you were done with him. So you weren't willing to take him back?
No.
Wow.
Because how dare you, sir? I'm perfect.
Oh. And why are you listening to some random?
She was trying to get in bed with him. I lost 2 relationships. I lost the
What was
man.
her sign?
Gemini.
Oh. Case closed. No. Case closed.
Gemini catching strays.
Oh. What was his sign?
Oh, Libra.
Oh, not a lying Libra. Ooh, that's what they say, y'all. I'm just repeating what the chat says. Oh, damn. So have you moved on? Are you in a relationship now?
I made a lot of sacrifices for this guy to the point where I basically stopped building myself up. And I put his needs first. Whatever he needed, he got. So now I'm going to be a little bit more selfish. I'm going to build myself up first. And then I'm going to start considering relationships. Second thing, about your dog dream.
Yeah.
I had a dog dream. And the dog's demeanor was very excited, like it was very happy to see me. And a week later, I got this job.
Oh.
So something good is coming your way.
Yes. Yeah. Missy, yeah, I love you guys are coming in with like the different interpretations. I'm glad I shared it. But Missy, dare I say, your friend did you a solid. Because clearly you needed to do the work on yourself because you were devoting so much time to this man, even though it was a good relationship, but you still needed to pour into yourself. And you wouldn't have been able to, you would have gotten lost in this man regardless. Even if the relationship was great, you would have lost yourself. So everything happened for a reason.
Yes, it's true.
But still don't tell your friends anything.
It was a bit of blessing in disguise, but fuck them both.
Oh, okay. We're not allowed to curse, Missy, but thank you. Missy, thank you so much for calling in. Sending you all kinds of blessings.
You too. Let's see what good thing comes your way. And remember to keep moving in silence. Move in silence.
Exactly. I'm not going to tell y'all till I'm married. Okay. Thanks, Missy.
Okay. Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Have
Bye.
a good day.
You too. I love that. I see. I'd much rather talk to you guys than talk to these Bravo celebrities or celebrities because you guys have more interesting stories than anyone else. Mill says, Kempire, you called it last season. Bronwyn is on the show so she can get a divorce from Todd. That's what it feels like every single week. I feel like it more and more and more and more. But we'll have to wait and see. Thank you to everyone that called in. Thank you to our King's Guards in the live chat. Thank you to our channel members. Thank you to our new members. Thank you to those of you that gifted. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to everyone that shared their thoughts and opinions in the chat. Replay crew, let's continue this conversation in the comment section. Hold on. Wait. Angel says, Kempire, did the guy who you gave dating advice to on TikTok respond with the 4-time cheater? Oh, I don't know. You're talking about Omar. I need to go back to the tweet. I get a lot of tweets. Because remember, I had saw the tweet while it was on TikTok. I would have to go back to the tweet. Because I don't know if he responded or not. I get a lot of tweets, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but not sorry. But yeah. Nia says, Kempire, do you hate Gemini? No, I don't hate Gemini. But people say things about Gemini. So when she said he was a Gemini, she said she was a Gemini. I was like, oh, well. I don't hate any of the signs, y'all. I don't hate any of the signs. And we don't hate you, Nia. She's like, I'm a Gemini, sad face. It's okay. It's all right. See, Gemini, I find Geminis to be very sensitive. And I don't really come hard on Geminis. Like I do like Cancers and other signs and Pisces and stuff like that. But if I say one thing about Gemini, they're real super sensitive. Real super sensitive. Yeah, the 4-time cheater. It was a tweet that I got. I need to go back and look. Anyway, Kentucky Poppy says, Twitter here. Hey, Twitter. Special K's watching on Twitter as well. This was honestly one of the best episodes except Britt and Jared. I had to fast forward. Come on, X. Come on. All right, y'all. I'm going to get out of here because I got things to do. But if you're part of the replay crew, let's continue this conversation in the comments section. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share the video. And if you're listening to the audio version of this, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify because it matters. Elsa says, we need another dating life. I know. I just been busy, with the holidays and everything like that. I've been decorating, busy, doing this, that. I got shit. We'll see, maybe. But make sure you have your notifications on. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to be a part of our dating lives that we've done on YouTube. If you Google Schmoogle it, we had one that was 5 hours several months ago. So even going back and listening to that would be a fun listen. All right, y'all. I appreciate you all being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Keep liking the video. I will see you all in the next one. Let's end with some Christmas music like we did the other day. Let me do a different Christmas song.
Thanks for tuning in to Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network. Don't forget to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. For more information on the podcast, head on over to KempireRadio.com.